So welcome to this segment on the compensation plan. This is Patrick Sedivy, and here we will focus on the power of three bonus. Out of all of the 5 ways to earn money with doTERRA, between retail profits, fast start bonuses, regular commissions, or unilevel, bonus pools, and the power of three, we're going to focus on this one. It's a very, very powerful bonus that doTERRA offers, and it has some really great benefits. In fact, if you focus on it right, it's the most immediate or fastest way to get to a significant or a decent income with doTERRA. So let's jump right in and talk about the power of three. So the power of three, basically there's three different levels that you can get in the power of three. You can get one or the other or the third. You cannot get them in addition to each other. It's just always one or the other. Now, obviously, you're looking at this. You see that there's a $50 bonus, there's a $250 bonus, and then there's a $1,500 bonus. So like I said, you'll always get one or the other. And I'm sure all of you are zeroed in right now on the $1,500 bonus. Well, of course, because you can do lots of things with an extra $1,500 every month. But in order to understand how to earn the $1,500 bonus, you need to first understand the foundation, which is how to earn the $50 bonus. So let me show this to you in a few different ways, okay? So first of all, there's 3 requirements for you to earn the $50 bonus. The very first requirement is that you have a 100 PV or more LRP order. Does it have to be at least 100 PV? Yes. Does it have to be LRP? Absolutely. Okay, that's the first requirement. The second requirement is that you have 3 people on your first level. And so that's what you see represented by the 3 darker blue people on your screen right now. You have to have 3 people on your first level who also each have at least 100 PV LRP order. Now, do their orders have to be at least 100 PV each? Yes. Do their orders have to also be LRP orders? Yes, they have to be loyalty rewards points orders, okay? Or loyalty rewards orders, rather. So that is the second requirement, that you have 3 people on your first level that each have a 100 PV LRP order or higher, okay? Now the third requirement is that you have team volume equal to or greater than 600 OV. Now, you can see that underneath that blue line at the bottom left of the screen. What does team volume mean? Well, team volume is simply your personal volume that month plus everybody on your first level, everybody what we call on your front line added in, okay? So obviously that includes your 100 PV LRP order. It also includes the 100 PV LRP order of the first person on your first level, the second person on your first level, and the third person on your first level, right? Because you have to have those in order to fill the first 2 requirements. So that means that the first 2 requirements combined make up at least 400 PV, okay? So in order to make up the difference, the remaining 200 PV to get to the 600 PV team volume, you have to have another 200 points that come from somewhere between you and your first level. Okay, so that could be if you place a 300 PV order, that's 300 PV for you, and then 100 PV for each of the 3 people on your first level. That's 600 PV together. That's your team volume, and you've made that third qualification. Another way to do it is, let's say you have a 4th person on your front line on your first level, and they just enrolled and they bought a 200 PV kit. Well, that 200 PV adds into your 100 PV and the 100 for each of your 3 builders on your first level. And even though that one, the remaining 200 PV, that does not have to be LRP anymore. So it could be an enrollment order, like I just said, that 200 PV enrollment order. Or it could be just a regular order. Let's say you have 2 or 3 other customers that just happen to be on your first level there, and their orders add up to a couple hundred PV. Well, that couple hundred PV plus your 100 PV and the 100 PV of each of the people on your first level, if it all adds up to 600 PV for team volume, then you've filled the third requirement. So the third requirement is that you have team volume of 600 PV, meaning you plus everybody on your first level combined have 600 PV volume. So if you fill those three requirements, then you qualify for the $50 bonus. Now, nothing to get super excited about. $50, and yeah, great, it's $50. It's a little bit of extra money, but it's not a huge amount. But it's a foundation. And now simply what you need to do is you need to duplicate that out and have those three builders that are on your first level repeat what you just did. They need to qualify for the $50 bonus. And as soon as those three individuals qualify for the $50 bonus, then you qualify automatically for the $250 bonus. Okay? So $250, now that's not a huge amount either, but it achieves one very important thing. And that is, once you're earning the $250 bonus, you are making more money than you're spending on your oils. Okay? So you might be spending $100 or $150 on your own LRP order. Once you're making that $250 bonus for the power of three, you're making well over that. Basically, you're getting your oils for free. I know lots and lots of people they work hard just to get to their $250 bonus. Just a handful of people or a couple handfuls of people in your organization, and that gets you to the $250 bonus, and that gets you your oils for free. And you could call that free natural healthcare, right? So let's look at this a slightly different way. So your first order of business is for you to go and find three individuals. Those are represented by these three individuals here. And these need to be builders that you're going to be working with. You don't want to be building the power of 300 consumers, right? Because you can't rely on consumers to have a 100 PV LRP order every month. If you decide to build the power of three or try to build the power of three under a consumer, you are engaging in a very frustrating process because you'll have to build 3 times as much because you're going to have to find 3 people yourself under that consumer. Okay, so what ends up happening is people get extremely frustrated when they do that and they feel like they can never achieve the power of 3. Well, that's simply because they started off wrong. What you need to do is you need to start off with 3 builders that you have, and you build the power of 3 under those or with them. Okay, so you find those 3 individuals and you plus each of them all get on, and I'm going to say here 150 point LRP, and I always teach that to builders that they need to have a 150 point LRP order because that's the absolutely fastest way that you could get to the power of 3 bonus. Okay, because if you take the 600 team points, team volume that you need, well, if you divide that by 4 individuals, you plus the 3 on the people on your front line, so 600 points divided by 4 individuals, that's 150 points per individual. And so if you do it that way, that's the absolute fastest way for you to get to your power of 3 bonus, and for all of your builders to do the same. So that's what I always teach all of our builders. Okay, so if you do that, you qualify with the 600 points that you need. You have your at least 100 PV LRP. You have 150 rather. And if each of your frontline people also have 150 PV LRP order, it satisfies that second requirement that they have to have their 100 PV order at least. And you're also satisfying the third requirement of having 600 points team volume. Now you're getting the $50 bonus. Yippee! Okay, now so the next order of business is for you to help those 3 individuals on your first level, teach them and help them to find their 3 builders each so that they could qualify for the $50 bonus. Okay, once each of those 3 individuals on your first level replicate what you just did and they're now qualifying for the $50 bonus, now you're qualified for the $250 bonus. And that's fantastic for you. Like I said, that's where you get all of your oils for free. And in fact, if you wanted to buy more oils, or if you needed to spend a little bit of money on samples or sample vials and things like that, you've got that money to continue building your business. Or you get simply an extra $100 in your pocket, which is also nice too. Okay. Now your next job is to help those 9 people that are represented by the yellow little diagrams there, the 9 little guys, and teach them to build to the $50 Power of 3 bonus. So that means that each of those 9 individuals have to go out and also find their 3 people each who will also get on a 150-point LRP order. Now, once all 9 of those have done that, now you qualify for the $1,500 bonus every month. Now, every month that all of these requirements are filled, you get that bonus. And I just want you to take a second and think about, what can you do with an extra $1,500 every single month? Is that saving up for a nice vacation every year with your family? Is that paying for your mortgage? Is it paying for a college fund? You name it. Whatever you want to do with that extra $1,500 bonus. And of course, that's obviously on top of the other ways that you make money with doTERRA, like whether it's retail profits or fast start bonuses or unilevel or other bonus pools that you get to when you start advancing in rank. So it's a really, really wonderful thing. You absolutely want to work for the Power of 3 bonus. So this is where a lot of people ask me the question, so Patrick, should I build for the Power of 3 or should I build for rank? Now that's a really interesting question. It's a really good question. And I always answer it the same way. I say, yes. And then they say, well, wait a minute. I asked you which one I should build for. Should I build for Power of 3 or should I build for rank? And I tell them, yes. And then they stop, they think about it, and they go, oh, what you're telling me is that I should be building for both. Absolutely. You should be building for both. Because if you look at the structure here that we have with your 3 builders underneath you, and they each have 3 builders, and each of those yellow guys have 3 builders under them, you're really set up perfectly for the rank of silver. In fact, if you have a perfect Power of 3 structure and every single person that you see on the screen right now has a 150-point LRP order, you're more than 2/3 way to being silver. You have the perfect structure and you're 2/3 away on everybody's volume in each of those organizations for you to qualify as silver. That's awesome, right? So you'd be more than premier here, and you're just perfectly set. It's also the perfect structure for you to go platinum, because a platinum is simply you need 3 silvers, right? And so those 3 green guys underneath each of you, they have 3 builders, and those 3 builders are building under them. And so that sets each of those green guys up perfectly for being silver, and that sets you up perfectly for being platinum. Now, if you want to go diamond, you just need a 4th leg, right? A 4th person on your first level. And that could basically be an insurance policy for your Power of 3 as well. So once you're diamond, you should definitely easily get the Power of 3 bonus. But you should be able to get the Power of 3 bonus even before that. So if you start out right and you build with committed and capable people on your first level, and you build the Power of 3 under those committed and capable people, then right around the time that you're going silver, you should also be getting your $1,500 Power of 3 bonus, and that's an absolutely great thing to have. So I want you to take this thought and absolutely strive to build for both rank and Power of 3 simultaneously. Now, every once in a while, you do run into some issues. So for example, let's say you have a builder, one of these first people on your first level, they completely quit. And you have enrollership of somebody underneath them, let's say one of those yellow guys, and you're using that yellow guy to help you qualify for rank. but it's difficult for you to qualify for power of three because that green guy, one of those green guys on your first level, aren't building underneath them. And so maybe they don't have three, maybe they just have that one other person, which is now enrolled to you. So in those kinds of situations where you don't have an ideal setup, it may be better for you to focus on rank first so you can advance in rank, and then you could pick up, when you're going for diamond, you're going to pull up, you're going to enroll a fourth leg, and then with that fourth leg, the help of that fourth leg, now you can qualify for the power of three. So sometimes there's a little bit of a timing issue as to which you focus on right at the very moment. But if I were starting from zero, from scratch today, and this is actually exactly how we did build, and it helped us get to diamond within 62 days. So when we started, we absolutely built for both simultaneously rank and power of three.